So, been a minute. Plan for this vid was to release an in-depth analysis for Brooklyn and splice the interview portion into it. However, I have been lacking motivation for some reason. And on top of that, the Kickstarter for this campaign has already been fully funded, so there was going to be a portion dedicated to glazing, promoting indie stuff, but it does look like the internet has glazed that to at least the bare minimum. And even though it's been fully funded, so it's not in any danger now, still needs support because it's going to be just a pilot, not a full show after all. And speaking of money, if you like the art I make in this video and you want to support the channel, I am serious when I say that's going to be the only way I can feasibly keep making videos at this rate. As you've seen, I have not been making videos for a while. So there's lots of ways you can help support my channel and get cool stuff yourself, such as, the art I'm making. Inspired by the project I'm going to talk about today, what are the odds? Since it is obscure, I won't do a deep dive, but I'll discuss the essentials of Brooklyn Breaks the Universe. It's basically Adventure Time Fiona and Cake, a mundane college-aged blue furry that the internet kept wanting to make oil up. Breaks more than just her wagey-ass bank account, has a much cooler and more badass alternate universe version of her, introduces herself to the multiverse. No other questions are really answered other than that, and the animation style, it being in Blender, being an action drama, and this very important story on Instagram from the creator 2K Doppler himself. Joking aside, I think the animation looks pretty cool. I'm kind of liking this trend of CGI characters with 2D faces. It's a vibe. It is a vibe. Now, I actually had the pleasure of having an interview with the creator, 2K Doppler. I was not able to get him in a voice chat, so credit to Marco Strange for providing his voice. Basic premise. How would you describe the show to the general audience?
Brooklyn Broke the Universe is a fantasy adventure story at its core, but we're pouring our focus into the characters and their emotions and relationships above all else. A girl being ripped away from her home to become a multiversal superpowered god would take quite the toll on someone.
This be serialized. What will the tone be? The focus, the themes? More character or story driven?
We plan on it, yeah. A lot of shows we're commonly associated don't really have the tone we're going for, so I'm hoping we take people by surprise. I'm going to withhold the themes though, as I want people to create their own meaning by what the characters experience and what the story may represent to them. In short though, it's a balance between character and story. We want these characters to feel as real and tangible as possible.
Multiverse concept will it be? Will it be like comics where it gets very complex, or will it just be a couple focused multiverses?
We are fully aware that multiverse stories usually are, like, really sloppy. People say they're sick of the multiverse concept, but that's only because of the bad stories being told that inappropriately and lazily use the multiverse as a concept for virtually no reason. We have a reason for it. We're going to keep it as easy to understand as possible, and to give you an idea, we're keeping time travel off limits. None of that. It just gets way too confusing.
Consider the age rating to be. Gonna be a pretty simple PG-13 where there's a little violence and cursing, or will it be kind of on the edgier side?
Probably 16 plus, I'd say. There is going to be violence and language. Not a grotesque amount, but enough to give it a more mature rating. Not really edgy either though, if that makes sense.
In terms of monetization, organizing different brands, and where to advertise, are there any suggestions or concerns you have for the audience? Such as how the rules of social media and their payment options are.
Yeah, there are a lot of issues in that regard. We haven't really thought about it that extensively, as mainly just posting on Insta or TikTok seems to do the trick usually. But as time goes on, we're going to try to push it a bit more in different ways. We just haven't quite figured that part out fully. Yet.
How did it become popular or at least gain traction, and which websites?
I got no idea, bro, won't lie. I somehow become successful on Instagram, then I made a video about the general concept of the series, now here we are. We've gotten a lot of eyes on it, which has been really weird to fully put into that perspective. But at the end of the day, it just kind of happened.
Do you have concerns that a lot of your audience subscribe for the short skits over the overarching story you've had in mind?
Not really, no. A lot of people have told me they want a full production in that style we have, and we're going to deliver on that front. Just with even more sauce and flair.
What are the expectations for the budget? Hoping for deals or a corporation to pick you up?
Right now, we're working with a shoestring budget, but we've been talking about launching an Indiegogo campaign pretty soon. Our budget won't be crazy though, as I'm going to be very hands-on with this myself, and our team is very tight-knit.
In terms of animation techniques, I noticed you use 3D and Blender with cartoon mouths. Do you have any suggestions?
Grease pencil. Learn it. It's so good. That's it, it's just so good and I love it.
How much of this project was a solo gig? Are you doing just the animating and directing, or did you do the script as well?
I wrote the initial draft, edited it into a rough draft, then received edit suggestions from my co-writers, Finley and Jose. Then we all made those final edits together. I do all the character modeling, rigging, most animation, the editing, some sound design, some music, and audio mixing. I don't like to put my eggs in one basket.
You know why the Instagram Reel users kept talking about oiling up.
I wish I didn't.
If this does get popular, are you concerned about competition, drama, or fandoms? I honestly have some suggestions if you are. The internet does get mad at pretty much anything, so you don't even really need to worry about using rage bait. Something will piss someone off. If it's stupid, not criticism, you can definitely double down on whatever you want, and it'll spread the word on its own, with the obvious downside of more potentially toxic communities going out of control.
Not really, no. I consider myself to be a level-headed person, and think everyone else helping me with this project is the same way. We're all just normal people, and I don't think any level of hate we've received would cause us any issues in the long run. We're making something very special, and I understand it will definitely not be for everyone. And I like to think that the people that would derive any enjoyment from the series would be somewhat normal. I hope.
Speaking of other communities, in terms of your coworkers and technically competition, such as Behemoth's Lake Glitch Productions and various other indie animators coming out later, thoughts on collaboration, oversaturation, competition, assisting others in the industry, and if so, what would a good place for experience be?
I think it is absolutely vital for indie studios to back each other 100%. I think it's also important to be honest with your audience as well. I'm not super concerned about competition, but I think we collectively need to stay vigilant in regards to remaining independent and not letting companies get their hands on the art itself. Once that happens, the word independent has lost all meaning. Art should never be about turning a massive profit, and the minute that's forgotten, then we artists have failed. Greed is a poison.
Speaking of experience, I saw you are planning on opening casting calls since you are hosting a new project. What do you think reasonable expectations for experience, portfolio, and pay rates are? Will this be more of a side gig wage, or do you think in the distant future there is potential for a full-time job for any creators?
I would definitely like to have this become a full-time thing in the future. 100%. I'd love to dedicate my life to art, as I know many others would as well. It's going to be a while before we can get there, but that is my goal. And as for voice experience, we don't require any. We're giving everyone an equal shot here. An actor can still be great with no experience.
Very important question time. Who would win in a fight? Nicole from Amazing World of Gumball or Tara from Brooklyn the Universe?
Nicole, zero death. Her mom voice would send Tara into septic shock.
Few questions from my Discord. Space G asked 2 questions. Number 1, in terms of choreography, what are the inspirations and how do you try to animate your fight scenes?
Oh, I got a few. Monty, particularly his work on Red vs. Blue, Dragon Ball Z, obviously, Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2, in specific, Ryomen Sukuna, and Maharaga. So good. Various martial art films such as Shaolin Soccer, for example.
Second Space G question. He wants to know what kind of music you listen to. To follow up, how will your style of music be integrated into the direction and style of the show?
I love hip-hop, old school and new school. I love classic 90s boom bap, such as Nas, or the Boot Camp Click, for example. And I want these styles to be reflected in any music affiliated with Brooklyn's character in the show. Get it? Brooklyn Woods, Brooklyn Boom Bap? Haha, yeah. And our composer, Sketchy Wave, has integrated gorgeous synth patches with some crazy breakbeat chops in the music he's made so far. I really think that what we have music-wise It's something that a lot of people are going to get down with, even outside the show itself.
How is it running so many different social media platforms with such varying results as a reception? Brooklyn Breaks the Universe was inescapable on Instagram for a while. You put up pretty good results on Twitter, and your YouTube account doesn't have nearly as many views. Everyone deals with these issues. Do you think it's a good idea to spread your ideas across media, just in case one works better than the other?
It's a nightmare, but running a page on every platform is essential to trying to run a brand. As much as I would like for that not to be the case, as it gets annoying having to post on every platform consistently, unfortunately, that's the climate we're in right now.
How will your other projects go? Will you become mostly laser focused on Brooklyn?
Oh, we'll have other stuff too, and it won't just be my ideas either.
If you have any advice to give to the audience, what would it be?
Art is the core of human existence. Never, ever give up on it. A life without art is not a life worth living. Thanks for doing this. I hope Brooklyn Broke the Universe is something that resonates with a lot of people on so many different levels. Our story, our music, our style, we want to ensure that every aspect of the project is the best it can be. We want to show people that an animated character can feel infinitely more real than any live action character, as long as they're written well. We're making something very special. I can promise you that much. The project is so near and dear to my heart, and what we've accomplished within the story so far has been such a rewarding experience. Thank you so much for having me.
And honestly, with that, that's some good lessons. A perfect closing note for the interview today. Once again, sorry I'm not uploading as much as I used to. You know, life and stuff, times are hard, all that good stuff. But I hope this inspired you, as well as just a nice recommendation to check out Brooklyn Broke the Universe when it comes out. Promise y'all, you won't regret it. Okay, maybe not promise, but I don't think you'll regret it. Hey man, don't hold me accountable, just in case. Need to have that insurance. However, personally, I'm pretty hyped for it. It looks pretty damn good. If you like the art I was making in the background of this video, please support me on Patreon or any other way you can. If you like animation, sub to Alecations. Goodbye.